Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. It's your boy Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're reviewing,
Stranger Things.
episode 2, Trick or Treat. Freak. This was, I like the first bit where they're all posing in their Ghostbuster outfits. I thought that was jokes. There was like personality for each of the characters there. Mike obviously wasn't feeling it. You can see is a bit mopey and stuff like that. Still, you got to assume because of Elle. I think it's because like when he does his radio broadcasts, I think he does kind of hear Elle, and I think he is convinced like whatever. So I think on an everyday basis, it's kind of there with him. It kind of shows the backstory of Elle. She's kind of in the upside down, and then she makes her way out, and then she goes back to Mike's house and she sees all the police there and stuff like that, and she kind of goes off and leaves, and then I guess she's just like going through the forest and stuff like that.
And then just mothers some old man in the face. That's funny.
with a cooked squirrel. That was that was I was like, is that guy like dead?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but could you imagine? I was going through the woods and there's a girl there, and she had squirrel on a stick, and then the squirrel on the stick was on fire, and she dashed it at my head, and I was knocked out.
Like, I couldn't work out if he was actually a creep or not.
I think it was just like a hunter. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, if you see like a little girl in the middle of the woods, like, it's not like she's walking and she's got lost. She's got a little camp there and she's by herself. So really, you kind of, I guess you've, to some degree, you've got to ask questions. It's Halloween, and all the kids kind of go to school dressed up as Ghostbusters. And like, they're getting mugged off for it, but apparently the Halloween before everyone else went in costumes. I think if I was like in American schools and it's like you clearly get to wear whatever you want, I think on Halloween, like, why wouldn't you rock like a costume?
It was a good gag though. I thought it was funny. What's his name? Lucas, is it? Am I making out? What's his name?
What, where they're both like Venkman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, and it's true. He is the lame one in the movie.
So yeah, there's a Halloween party going on, and Jonathan's kind of hanging. I don't know what's going on there. It's real confusing because like they're obviously you had Nancy in the thing with Barb at the she's kind of melting down in the library where she sees Barb or whatever. But anyway, a little later on, her and Jonathan are walking in the thing like chummy, and then she's like, "Oh, come to this party or whatever." You know what I mean? You baghead, instead of staying at home and kind of allowing it. And then Steve grips her up, and they're like all lovey and stuff like that. And then I guess Jonathan kind of walks off and is halfway down the thing, and she kind of gives him a look, like. And I'm sitting there thinking, is she like, is she feeling him or what?
It seems to be. It's a weird one to kind of...
Because it needs to me. I mean, I don't want to like be that guy and jump to conclusions, but obviously Jonathan's on her, and for me it's just a matter of if she's on him.
It's a weird one to try and figure out, because that's the way they're playing it. She's giving him longing looks and whatnot, and she's being all friendly with him. But it's like...
I think they're friends anyway. Friends would have been expected, but I think the longing look.
Yeah, but it's like this season... If this was last season, I would have got it. But this season, the boyfriend, Steve, he's being perfectly reasonable like he was last year, so I can't quite figure out how I'm meant to feel about it.
I think, well, it's interesting because I think the Barb stuff's really weighing on Nancy's mind, and I think the fact is kind of shutting her down. Like, I think emotionally she's looking for something there.
But yeah, but he's right though.
Yeah.
Like it's like the entire American government or a section of it are going to be on their ass, so they do need to keep stum. And I do get it though. Like it's a shame for the parents, like their daughter's dead and they're going to be bankrupt.
Yeah. I think it's interesting as well. They're having the conversation in the of a room or whatever, and then it's like, wait 1 second, goes to the window and draws the blinds, and goes back and carries on talking at the. I was like, what? Like, oh, because the blinds are closed, they're not going to be able to hear what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't work it out either.
Yeah. So you got that going on.
So Jonathan's still a bit of a melt. His original plan for the day was to hang out with his brother, who completely mugs him off.
Yeah. Well, he's got a good counter for it. So yeah, I guess like Joyce is super mummying him in terms of like, you know, you can't go anywhere without kind of whatever, and it's all scheduled and stuff like that. I mean, at the facility, they've got some sort of monitoring systems going on, and then a guy goes through to the upside down to fix like a satellite array or whatever. So I guess they're monitoring stuff, but whatever they're doing with that. That Billy guy's a waste, man. Like when they're like biking home from school and then is razzing it in the car, and like it's like, if those kids, like, I'm pretty sure he would have hit them and killed them all.
Yeah, he's an absolute douche. He is like, it's like a matter that we haven't seen the rest of the season, so maybe his character like they did Steve or something. But at the minute, he's like Kiefer Sutherland and Stand By Me. It's just like an absolute dick.
Yeah.
Like a real beyond bully. It's just like a psycho.
Yeah. I think it would be pointless if they kind of like, they've introduced him as a douche and then they do exactly the same thing with, like they did with Steve. It's like that shtick's burnt out. You know what I mean? So
I definitely think he's got death threatened all over him. He's fodder for whatever pops out of the episode.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're kind of talking about the reason they moved from California, and it's like, she says it's his fault, and I don't know whether that was just a retort or whatever, but he seemed to be under the impression it's her fault. So
it's definitely his fault.
Yeah, I wonder kind of what's going on there. Moving along, trick or treating and stuff like that. Like Jonathan kind of takes a risk and lets Will kind of go about by himself, and then he goes to the party, and then he meets this new girl, and it's like kiss, and the band like that. It's like, Jonathan, you should have just stuck with it, man. You might have got somewhere. So he's kind of staring at Steve and Nancy dancing, and then she has a little too much to drink. And again, there's kind of like a kick-off, and then she obviously implies that she's got no love for him, and then he just lows her off. And then I like drunk Nancy. I liked it.
Okay.
I
Why?
like angry Nancy. I don't know. I think she does it well, and like she stares real good, if you know what I mean. It's like she was communicating to me her emotions purely through her eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you kind of had that. And then, yeah, I guess Will has another episode, and he sees this big, like, octopus-like thing again, and then he ends up going back with Mike, and then they're like, oh, we'll both go crazy together or whatever. Yeah, obviously Mike's, like, isn't feeling Max being around, because I guess he's still longing for Elle. Hopper goes out to investigate this pumpkin thing, and it turns out it's happening to all the farms, and he ends up kind of following a trail, and it's all like goopy and stuff like that, and all like little maggoty things on there, so whatever that's about. And then he kind of promises to Elle that he'll be back, and then is late, and she's mad at him. Yeah. and then kind of she whacks a bandana on and kind of white noises and goes to see Mike, and she's kind of like there with him, and then he's kind of like he ends up walking off, and she's real sad and crying, and it's all very emotional. And then Dustin goes home, and then again he hears that rustling in the garbage can, and he opens up and is like, holy. So
classic horror movie thing. Move towards a scary looking thing rather than run away.
I think it's because he thinks it's the cat.
Mm.
But how did the cat get in there and put the lid on? I don't know what that's all about, so I'm kind of excited to see what it actually is. Yeah. Let's talk numbers.
I'll give it an 8.5. I thought it was great. I love the Ghostbusters stuff. That was fun. Of the time, I think the only character I'm not feeling in a minute is that Billy just feels like too much for a ripped out of an 80s movies kind of thing. It doesn't feel great. They're overdoing it with him a little to me. He's a bit too sinister. But everything else is great.
Yeah, I like the whole pumpkin conspiracy thing going on and stuff like that. I want to see what that's building to, what's going on with that. And I'm interested to see what's in the bin at the end. I think things are kind of moving along. I kind of want to find out what the whole Max deal is and what's going on with her and her family. Obviously, Bob offers to move away from Hawkins. I want to see if there's anything to that. I kind of don't think so. So yeah, I want Elle and Mike to get back together. I want a reuniting thing going on. I think Elle's eventually going to end up walking out. I think she must be kind of frustrated with kind of being stuck where she is, even if it is for her own good.
Yeah, it's because she does seem to be living on like permanent lockdown. I don't think it seems like she ever gets out.
Yeah, so it's not much different. I mean, I guess it's kinder than where she was, but I mean, same kind of thing. I'll again give it a 9. It's moving. It's moving quite nicely. There's nice and emotional bits in there. There's kind of it's piqued my interest.
With the scary looking monster thing that we'll see in the other thing, like if that does come through, how exactly do they fight that?
I don't know.
Me either. That would be my. I mean, I suppose
maybe
Eleven's got superpowers, but
maybe they do a Ghostbusters kind of thing.
Maybe that's what the setup was. I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you next time for more Stranger Things on the Superhero Hub.